Hello everyone. Okay, so in this session we will continue our lecture on the moment area theorem. So basically in the previous part we have discussed in detail on the example 1 and example 2. So where in that particular example we have deals with the cantilever beam. We have used that particular cantilever beam to calculate the displacement and the rotation by using the moment area theorem. Okay, so in this session we will have another two examples, which is example 3, where you can see that we have a simply supported beam, and another one is example 4. So in these examples we will calculate the deflection on the beam. So basically this is an overhanging beam. Okay, without further ado, let's start with the example 3. Okay, so in example 3 we have a simply supported beam that's supported at pin and a roller on the point A and B respectively. So this beam is loaded by the point load at 2 meter from B. So the amount is equal to 100 kilonewton. So given that the E and the I value in the equation. So in this example, so we will calculate the slope at a point C. Okay, so the point C is located 2 meter from A. Okay, so one thing that I would like to highlight here, so when you're dealing with the unsymmetrical loading in a beam, so you may need to combine both theorem 1 and theorem 2. Okay, so let's discuss on the solution. Okay, so as usual, the moment area theorem involves 3 steps. The first step you need to draw the MEI diagram. The second step you need to draw the elastic curve diagram, and the last one you need to apply theorem. Okay, theorem 1 and theorem. In this case, we need to apply the theorem 1 and theorem 2. Okay, so for the first step, you need to draw a normal bending moment diagram by assuming that the EI is a constant value. Okay, so I don't want to explain in detail how to get this particular diagram. So it's just a normal procedure that we have discussed in example 1 and example 2. So it's about by using the cut section method to have this particular diagram. Okay, so basically in this slide I'm going to discuss in detail. I'm going to focus on the second step, okay, which is to draw the elastic curve diagram. Okay, so in this problem, so this is the deflected shape or the deformation shape of a beam. Okay, so based on this particular point load that applied 2 meter from support B. Okay, so once you have drawn the deformation shape of a beam or the elastic curve diagram for the beam, so you may to draw the tangent line. Okay, since this is about the slope at point C, so the tangent line C must be drawn along as what you can see in this diagram. So and another two tangent line that you can draw is a tangent line for support A and tangent line for support B. Okay, so once you have drawn the tangent line for each point, which is A, B, and C, so you can identify or you can indicate the angle. Okay, so since in this problem we need to calculate the angle at point C, so and I have mentioned that to indicate the angles of a point, you need to draw the horizontal lines that parallel to the beam. Okay, so for instance here we have a point C, so you need to draw this particular horizontal line. And basically the angle C is measured from this horizontal line towards the tangent C line. And you can see that here we have another angle which is theta CA, okay, which is measured from the tangent A towards tangent C. Okay, so and basically this combination of angle, which is a theta C plus theta CA, is equal to this angle of P. Basically, I can say that this is the angles about point A. Okay, so this P is the angle about point A. So from this elastic curve diagram, basically you can figure out one equation here, where the theta C is equal to P minus theta CA. So we know that theta C plus theta CA is equal to P. So by rearrange that equation, you can get one equation of theta c equal to phi minus theta ca. Okay, so and this theta ca, actually you can simply obtain the value from the MEI diagram, but we have a problem with this particular phi or the theta a. Okay, so basically you need to have another equation. You need to further define this particular phi. So where you can define by looking on this elastic curve diagram again. Okay, so what you can see here, they have one triangle, okay, that can be seen by looking on this line AB, this line of a tangent A, from A to the this point, and this vertical line. Okay, so actually this vertical lines is represents for the vertical derivation of a TBA. Okay, so where you can see that this line is drawn from point A, from the tangent line A towards the point B. Okay, so based on this triangle, actually you can get another equation. You can define the phi equal to TBA over LAB, okay, which is a tangent. Okay, so since the angles is since the deflection is too small, actually we can define that tangent phi is equal to phi. So that's why the times here is cancelled. It was cancelled out. Okay, so I hope that you can identify how we get this particular equation from the elastic curve diagram, and you can substitute this equation into this particular equation that we have defined at first. So and this is the equation to get the angle at point C. So in detail, you can see that the equation is TBA over LAB minus theta CA. Okay, so this value of TBA and the theta CA, actually you can get it from the MEI diagram. Okay, so where TBA you can use the second theorem, theta CA you can use the first theorem. Okay, let's look in detail on how we can calculate this value from the MEI diagram. The next slide. Okay, so this is the MEI diagram that we have drawn in at the first step. Okay, so by using the first theorem to get the theta CA, okay, so we already have seen this particular equation during the lecture at the first part of this topic. Okay, so the limits is C to A. So where you can see that in this diagram is covered on this particular small triangle, okay, C to E. Okay, so by calculating the area of this triangular, okay, so you will get the theta CA. So in detail, you can see that the half of multiply with the 2 meter, which is the base of this triangle, multiply with the height of this triangle, which is equal to 50 over EI. So simplify this, you can see that the theta CA is equal to 50 over EI. Okay, so and next is on the TBA. So where this is based on the second theorem. So we have seen this equation where the x bar multiplied with this m over EI. Okay, so since the limit is A to B, so by looking on this MEI diagram, the area covered from this point to this, from this point A to this point B. So meaning that we need to consider the entire area of diagram, MEI diagram. Okay, so based on this A to B, so actually you can have two shape of area, so which is this particular triangle and this triangle. Okay, so and based on this two triangle, you can get the value of TBA. Okay, let's look on the solution here. So basically we have a two part. Okay, the first part is for this big triangle. So the second part is for the second triangle. Okay, so the small one. Okay, so let's look on the first part. Okay, so the first part is 2/3 multiplied by 2. So basically this is x bar. Okay, the x bar value that you can see here, where the value can be obtained by looking on the base of this triangle. Okay, so this is a 2 meter. So the distance of x bar that I have mentioned many times is you need to look on the first alphabet in the expression of a TBA. Okay, so since the first alphabet is a B, so meaning that the x bar must be based on the distance between the area, the center gravity of area towards the point B. Okay, so since we have two area, so for this particular area of a triangular, the big one, so the distance is from the center of this triangular towards the point B. So and another one which is a small triangular, the distance is from this center of small triangular towards the point B. Okay, so this for the second triangular, you can see that the distance is 2 meter plus 1/3 multiplied with 6 meter, which is for the small triangular. Okay, so and this the term in the bracket for both of the term is represented for the area of each triangular. So simplified of this equation, you can see that the TBA is equal to 2000 divided by EI. Okay, so and by using the equation that we have established in the previous slide, okay, so and plug in all the equation of theta CA and the TBA, so you can see that the theta C is equal to 200 over EI. And by substituting the value of flexural rigidity into this equation, so you can see that the angle at point C is equal to 0.0028 radian. Okay, so we move on the example 4. Okay, so basically in these examples, we will deal with the overhanging beam. So you can see that this overhanging beam is supported at point A and at a point B, so with the feet and the roller support respectively. So this overhanging beam is loaded by the 10 kN per meter UDL load, given that the E and the I in the equation. So in this problem, we will calculate the deflection at the point C, so at the free end of this beam. Okay, so let's look in detail on the solution. So okay, so basically this is the MEI diagram. So based on the cut section method, you can simply to get this particular diagram. So I don't want to discuss in detail on this. Okay, so but I want to highlight on the shape of the MEI diagram. So you can see that we have two major shape here, the triangular shape and the parabolic spandrel. So basically you can get this the center gravity of this parabolic spandrel from the static dynamic books or the solid mechanics books. Normally it's located at the front or at the back page of the books. Okay, so let's move on the second step, which is on the elastic curve diagram. Okay, so what you can see in this diagram, this is the elastic curve diagram for the problem. Okay, based on the UDL load applied along BC. Okay, so as usual, you need to draw the tangent line. Okay, for the point. So since this is about the deflection at point C, so you need to draw the tangent line for the point C, and the rest tangent line is a tangent line as support. That is normal when you dealing with the moment area theorems. Most of the time, you can see that from example 1 to example 3, so the tangent line as support is involved. Okay, so once you have draw the tangent line for A and for B and for C, okay, so you need to indicate the displacement or the vertical deviation. Okay, so you can see that the displacement of a point C is indicated by the delta C, where this is the origin point or undeformed point. So this is a deformed point C. So this height is delta C, which is a displacement of a point C. Okay, so basically, this displacement can be obtained by using this equation. So actually, this equation is taken out from this particular elastic diagram, where TCA minus delta prime. Okay, so how we can get this particular equation from the elastic curve diagram? Okay, so you can see that for the point B, okay, so we have a TBA. For the point C, we have a TCA. So which is a vertical deviation. So based on the definition, vertical deviation is a distance between the tangent lines towards the deformed point. Okay. So for instance, here we have a point B. So this vertical deviation is measured from this tangent A towards the deformed point B. So this is a TBA. So meanwhile, for the point C, we have a vertical deviation of a TCA. So this vertical deviations is drawn from the tangent A towards the deformed point C. Okay, so this TCA actually can be used to calculate the delta C. So actually this delta C, okay, so you can see, okay, try to focus on these three terms, which is a TCA, delta C, and delta prime. Okay, so basically TCA minus with the delta prime, so you gonna to get the value of displacement at point C, which is a delta C. Okay, so but here you need to get the value of delta prime. Okay, so delta C can simply obtain from the MBI diagram, but the problem is how to get the delta prime. Okay, because delta primes do not in terms of relative angle, I mean the relative point. Okay, so basically you can get this particular delta prime value by considering two triangles. Okay, the first, the ratio between two triangles. Okay, the first triangle is based on this line. Okay, so when you see this is a vertical line, this is a base of big triangle, so which is the total span of a beam. And this is diagonal for the big triangle. Okay, so another triangle is a small triangle, which you can see by looking on this vertical line, which is the vertical division for the TBA, and the base of this triangle is A to B, and the diagonal line of this small triangle is from this point towards point A. Okay, so basically you can relate both of these triangles, and you can see that the equation is given by this one, where this is from the big triangle, this is from the small triangle. So by equating both of them, so where this is the delta prime over 16, so this 16 is total length of beam equal to the TBA over 8, where 8 is the length of a beam from A to point B. Okay, so and rearrange this equation, you will get that delta prime equal to 2 TBA. Okay, so delta prime will be equal to 2 TBA, and by substituting the value of delta prime with 2 TBA, you can see that you have complete equations which comprise of a TCA and TBA. So and here the TCA and TBA can be obtained from the MBI diagram. So the next slide will show how we can calculate that value. Okay, so so this is a solution for the problem, where you can see that the TCA and TBA is can be calculated by using the second theorem. Okay, so we look on the TCA. So actually TCA is the limits is from point C to point A by looking on this MBI diagram. So meaning that we need to consider the entire area of MBI diagram for this problem. Okay, so and basically you can divide the area into two shapes, where we have a triangular shape and a parabolic spandrel shape. Okay, so and find out the x bar for each shape. So I'm I have mentioned many times, the X bar you need to measure from first alphabet, okay, of expression towards the center of gravity of each shape. Okay, so for this triangular shape, the distance is measured from center of gravity towards the point C. For the parabolic spandrels, is measured from the center of gravity of this area towards the point C. Okay. So once you have identified the X bar for each shape, okay, so you may multiply both of X bar with the area of triangular and spandrel shape. Okay, so and simplified, you will get one value of TCA, which is not shown here, so you need to figure out by yourself. And for the TBA, so the limit is B to A here, or A to B, which is about the right angle triangle only. Okay, so and carry out the same process. So you need to identify the X bar. So for these triangles, basically the distance, the X bar can be obtained by looking on the distance between point B toward the center of gravity of this triangle. So this is a point B. So this is a center gravity of this triangle. So meaning that this is a distance of X bar. Okay, so and calculate the area of this triangle. So which is you can see on this bracket. Okay, so and multiply with the X bar, so you will get the value of a TBA. So once we have obtained the value of a TCA and TBA, you can use these equations to calculate the displacement at the point C. Okay, so that's it for this session. So basically we have finished the topic on the moment area method. So if you have a problem, you can contact me. Okay, so thank you for listening.